Hi, my name is Matt Kasparovich, and I'm the level product manager for SOR. And today we're going to talk about the SOR 1600 series liquid level controller. And we're going to give you kind of a brief overview of its capabilities, and then also we're going to get into how to set it up, how to calibrate it out there in the field. The SOR 1600 series liquid level controller is specifically designed for upstream, midstream oil and gas applications such as separators, compressor skids, scrubber applications, any application where you're trying to control the liquid level inside of a tanker vessel or even an interface level inside of a tanker vessel. So the way the SOR 1600 series works is you have a displacer, which is essentially a weight hanging off of a rod, and that displacer is your buoyancy sensing element. That sensing element is then counterbalanced by a spring force on the inside of this box. So by raising or by tightening or loosening that spring, you are effectively making that displacer lighter or heavier in doing so. So what happens and what you're controlling is you take an input supply signal through the back of the controller, and then once that set point level has been achieved, it opens up this pilot, allowing that pressure to flow through the output port to a control valve or to some other type of pneumatic device to signal that the level set point has been reached. Then once that level has declined enough, then that pilot shuts off, closing off that pilot pressure, exhausting it out to allow that control valve to shut off, and doing so. First thing you're going to do is you're going to open up the case here. And this door here is allowed to be taken off. All the instructions on how to set it up, how to calibrate it, the different terminologies for everything, diagrams are all right here on the inside of the cover. So now we're going to show you how to actually calibrate and set up your 1600 series liquid level controller. So the first adjustment that you're going to see on here is going to be this spring adjustment. This spring adjustment is going to determine where your set point is for dumping your level. And so we're going to run through an example here. And so our target set point is going to be here, represented by this tape. And typically, when you're setting your set point for your liquid level controller, you want it around the middle of the displacer. And the reason for that is you want to give yourself a little room for error for changing process conditions, so that you're not all the way on the tail end or all the way on the extreme end of the displacer. And so you can see here our set point is very low when we first got it started. So what we're going to do now is we're going to loosen that spring. By loosening that spring, we're essentially making that displacer heavier. And by making it heavier, we're raising that set point up. And so it's a trial and error basis where by raising this set point, you see where it trips, and then you go from there and you adjust accordingly. So you can see we overshot it slightly. So what we're going to do is we're going to tighten it a little bit and then give it one little last adjustment and see where it falls. And we overshot it a little bit, so we come back down, do a little adjustment, and then you're good from there. The second adjustment that you're going to be able to do on your 1600 series liquid level controller is going to be your sensitivity adjustment right here on your torque bar. And so what the sensitivity adjustment does is it actually changes what your proportional band is or what your dump cycle is. And so the higher sensitivity being the higher numbers that you'll have a larger dump cycle. If you have a lower sensitivity set, you'll have a much smaller dump cycle happen. And so you can see typically with most customers, they set their sensitivity somewhere in the middle. If you don't know what sensitivity or what dump cycle you'll actually need, just set it somewhere in the middle at a 5 or a 6. And so, for example, if you want to increase your proportional dump cycle, let's go ahead and set this at a number 9 sensitivity. And you have to remember, when you change the sensitivity, you're gonna have to readjust your set point. And so you can see here, by changing it to a 9, we dramatically increased our set point. And you will also see that the The dump cycle is a lot longer. It's almost half the size of the displacer. And so what we have to do now to lower that set point is we have to tighten this spring to decrease our set point, essentially, to the point where we need it to be. And so you raise it up, lower it back down to where, until you get to the point where you actually have a true set point of where your level's at. And so let her raise up. And you see we almost hit it right there on the mark the first try. And so that's all you need to do to set up your liquid level controller. For any other questions that you have, feel free to visit our website, sorinc.com, or contact one of our numerous local sales representatives all around the world in your local area. Thanks for watching and have a great day.